Bam, we're live.
I'm sorry, I was sitting on my asset.
Always can. I know. And I apologize. You see my typo. Get off you assets. That's what happens when you do these at like midnight.
It wasn't midnight. It was like 12:45. Don't over exaggerate. It was like 12:45. I got an email from you last night. I was like, why am I getting an email at 1:00 in the morning from you? The worst CEO ever, working me all night long.
I was working on stuff, but anyways, this is a good episode. I'm already looking forward to it. Just with the brief discussion we had in the green room is going to be great. But what happened last week? Let's get caught up. What's exciting? You got headsets on, looking like you're about to take my McDonald's order. I'll have a Big Mac with fried. Let's supersize that shit, yo.
Well, let's get it straight. This is actually I'm getting back in shape. I'm thinking about going back into the Space Force. So they gave me these headsets and said I had to wear these around the house in order to qualify to get a waiver for my age. But anyway, no, I've got painters here, I got roofers. It's been a hot mess, tripping the circuit breaker, surge protector. So it's been fun. So if I get cut off, that's my excuse.
There you go. It's been crazy. We've been having these calls and James is in and out. It's just technology, first world problems. That's what we used to always say during deployments, first world problems. So,
well, to be fair, I'm going to hopefully fix those when I get Marty's new MacBook.
Oh man, that always hold me to it. Oh yeah, he's back. He is back in the red room. No longer at his one of his beach resorts that he owns.
Did you see Nick there? His Facebook profile has Chewbacca with him. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That is
Chewbacca there, yeah. But
nice.
Our number one fan. We gotta love him. Gotta love it.
So we got some big events coming up. If we can brag real quick.
Just real
fast.
We've
got Business Made Simple. So every month we host with Donald Miller and the team over at Story Brand, free 1 hour coaching with Donald Miller.
Excuse me, how much is it?
It's free. The power of free.
Again? You're doing free again?
Oh, power of free. Man. Last month we did small business finances, what you need to get your business straight. This month, next week, Cinco de Mayo. Woo! We are going to do 5 things your website should include to increase sales. Like we say, your website has one job: to make you money. How's yours performing? So if you're interested in this, check it out. Go to go.jtf214.com. It's on Cinco de Mayo. That's the 5th of May for those that know habla. And that is it is from 11 to about 1 p.m. I think we're going to take it to on Eastern Standard Time. So go there, register, and it's free. And it's free.
No excuses. Stop making excuses. People making excuses to get their website and their business fixed. We can help.
Oh, what's cool is that Donald Miller is actually going to take some questions live, and so he'll do that. And then after he's done, then you hang out in our Zoom room, and we'll answer your questions one-on-one. Whoever signs up in our link in our room. So it's really a really cool opportunity. Like, again, we do this once a month, different topics as it rotates around. And then on the 10th and 11th, we're doing another 2-day workshop for Story Brand. We've already got a couple of clients signed up, and we're going to actually help Story Brand their entire company from head to toe. So it'll be pretty cool. So we got that coming up. But enough about us. Let's talk about, let me remove this. Let's talk about this week, and not my typo, but who do we got?
Well, you had you've been blessed to have the opportunity to actually be taught by him, correct?
So I got to put this up. I got to give a shout out to Bunker Labs. Bunker Labs, yet again, Shelby and Blake and all the team over there just continue to put these events together. They put it out there. Speaking of Bunker Labs, I got to give a shout out to Assault Forward, another veteran entrepreneur. This is the DC crew here. This is Joe Heppelman and the crew. They make amazing cuff links and stuff. But they brought together a national event and breaking barriers. I was in that event for the Latinos. and Bill came in there and spoke about his book, Get Off Your Assets. And this is it's like, don't be judging. It's a quick read, but man, it's powerful. I was like, I like that. This is what in the military, this is what goes in your cargo pocket. You pull it out and you're like, damn, 12 assets. I think it was 12. No shit. Don't make me lie on camera now. 12. Bam. I knew that.
Well, we got to get Bill in here to keep you straight. Make sure you keep keeping you on task and getting you the right information.
Let's get him on here. Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's get him. I knew it. Thank you.
Hey, Bill, do you have any, you have an order you want? You want a Big Mac or anything?
Supersize it.
Supersize that.
For sure.
I think just because right before I switched, I think he was doing Gangnam Style.
I am from the South Korea.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. So welcome, brother. Welcome. This is we've been playing cat and mouse in here. I've embarrassed everyone out there. Bill was just in my town here in DC, and it's funny, like he's literally here and we missed him. And Bill, you're in Nashville, and James and I were there and we missed you.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is gonna happen. So how does it happen? It happens via StreamYard during a podcast, but there's going to be another opportunity. We're going back to Nashville and you're coming back out here. So we'll break bread together. I promise.
Definitely. Yeah. Look forward to it. Hey, it's we're on a mission. We're on a journey. So, we're trying to knock out some objectives and we get busy. So it happens, but we'll connect.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think the only common denominator with us not getting connected is Marty. So if I remove Marty from this connection piece, I think Bill, you and I can actually link up and actually break bread. I can take your order.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Donnell's talking about your presentation. He was there too when you did it. I think he was a national. He's another 22 Alpha DC veteran in residence. And by the way, birthday boy just turned 50 yesterday.
Nice.
Sergeant Major old.
You don't say that. He's aged like a fine wine.
I know he does look like he's 30. Let's be honest.
He does. But Bill, let's talk about you, brother. Let's talk about your journey to entrepreneurship, because I love it. You were actually killing the game from what I've read and what I understand, right? How did this start? Do you wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm tired of being successful. I'm going to go be miserable as an entrepreneur.
Right. Hey, it's a different game for sure. No, I was working at a small company you guys may have heard of, Comcast Business, right? And I was a B2B sales rep out there crushing it. I was number 20, I believe, in the whole country. So I was working hard and I learned the business, right? They had a playbook for success. They gave me the KPIs and the number of people or contacts I should make every day, appointments I should run. I just doubled their number, right? And I was doing well. But in my heart, at my core, I've always been an entrepreneur. Actually, the reason I started working at Comcast was because I had a previous business that failed. And I was like, yo, I got to get a job, but I knew I had to get a sales job because I could potentially write my own check, right? I could earn unlimited commission. And so that's what happened. I was able to pay off my debt and I was able to get on my feet. And then I said, okay, but this isn't it. I really have to maximize, I think my gifts, my talents, hence the name of the book, Get Off Your Assets. I think most people actually sit on their assets. They don't maximize the gifts that they have. So I challenged myself to do that first. And that's where the book really poured out from me.
Yeah, I love it because it comes from that, and it's get off your assets before you leave your day job, and that's what's key, right? Before you leave your day job, and
I should have read this book first. I did it the opposite, left the job, then I all my assets.
Leroy Jenkins.
Hey, you're like most people though, man. I think like especially nowadays, a lot of people want to be an entrepreneur or they have a side hustle and they're like, look, I'm leaving my job. But I think that, and this is what I experienced. My first thought was, okay, I need to save up a certain amount of money. My savings account needs to look like this. I need to pay off these credit cards. I need to do all these like tangible things. But what the book is really about is developing yourself as a person, like submitting to certain principles, or, developing the right mindset. Because I think that's where most people fail. We kind of overlook the fact that, hey, being an entrepreneur requires a certain mindset that it really doesn't require if you're an employee and that's what you're going to do. So, and that's what the book is about. It's 12 principles of me having this professional and personal growth journey to become a different person. And I think to become a better version of myself.
I think you hit on a bunch of things there. I mean, like a whole bunch, like a machine gun, because we say, I'm tired of making someone else a millionaire. I'm going to make myself a millionaire. So here I go. I'm going to jump from an airplane and here I go. But at the same time, as you transition, just like in the military, we talk about that transformation, the similarities between going from battlefield to business and going from, working in business to being an entrepreneur. There's some similarities there, because now you're out there literally alone and unafraid. Your work ethic is, you literally do have to kill what you eat, or you eat what you kill, and it's just, you got to be, asset number 6, you got to be resourceful. You got to figure it out. And that's a lot of things we talk about is, as you look at the problem, sometimes being resourceful just requires you just to walk around the table and look at different ways to attack the problem and look at it, different ways. But man, I love it. So what was your, as you got out, because you said you had a business before,
right? Before I worked at Comcast. I had a concert promotion business. So I promoted and toured soul and jazz artists in 27 cities, So my company was called Soul Lounge. It started in Nashville, and, I would just tour these artists, man, all over the country. It's a very risky business. That was back when we depended on ticket sales, and, 1 month, man, I would make 30 grand. The next month I'd give it all back. I was losing a lot of money. And I remember probably a month or two before I started working at Comcast, I lost 30 grand in a month. And I was miserable, man. I was depressed, and it was just this roller coaster, right? And I said, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I can't figure this thing out. I'm gonna get a sales job and figure out what I'm gonna do from there. So, working at Comcast was actually a blessing. It helped me to get out of debt and pay off some bills, get back on my feet. But when I was there, I realized, you know what? I really like this industry, and what they taught me was how to get customers, right? How to become a customer magnet machine. So that skill set is transferable to a lot of different industries, not just, technology. And that's why, I think the book was so key for me, because a lot of my friends also wanted to be entrepreneurs, or they already had a business or a side hustle. And when they saw me having success in my business, just a little success, they said, hey, can you help me do XYZ? Can you help me, set up, a sales system, or, how can I do my marketing and all this? I said, look, if you really want to be an entrepreneur, you need to get off your assets first, right? You have these skills, you have these gifts, you need to abide by these principles. And if you get that, because it's being an entrepreneur to me is a personal development journey with compensation attached onto it. That's what it really is. So eventually, the better we become as individuals or as professionals, I think the more money and more opportunities we're going to attract.
Right. I added the eventually part, because a lot of times we're like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Woo, where's the money? No. You missed the eventually part.
Exactly.
There's some thin years for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, what about as far as with the Comcast? Did it teach you any processes in sales? Because were you okay at sales before you went there, or and they perfected that craft? What were the things or the process that really helped you when you were there?
Yeah, I think that I was okay at sales before I got, not to toot my own horn, but I mean, out of college, even before I started that previous company, I always had sales jobs, right? So right out of college, I always got B2B. I was always in B2B sales. So I had this experience, which is why I knew, okay, I need to get a sales job, because I knew I could excel in that position. But what Comcast really did teach me was the value of structure, right, around a sales system. And they had this playbook, man. And that playbook was very simple, but it eliminated all of the, distractions, all the fluff, and said, listen, this is how you get customers. And instead of complicating it, I just went, I went hard, right, for a good 3 months. And when I looked up, I was at the top of the board, right, and head of people who had been there for years. And all I was doing was working. Now, I was motivated because my back was up against the wall, so to speak, and I had a lot of creditors to pay and all this. I had full custody of my son at the time. I was a single guy. So I was like, look, I got to take care of my son. I got to pay this money, But I think, too, there's a message there. Sometimes we don't know what we can do unless our back is up against the wall. Now, some people, the way they respond to that is they run. They tuck their tail and they run. Right? Or they point the finger, they blame other people, right? But I think as entrepreneurs, what we have to do is look in the mirror and say, hey, I am where I am because of me. Take responsibility for where we are. It's our life, right? And if we do that, if we take responsibility for the setbacks or the failures, then we can also control the situation. We can take responsibility for the success and progress as well. So there it is.
No, absolutely, brother. And that's what, James, are you about to go be no do on him?
No, I was about to actually, I was thinking of 2 other books that he just hit my head. The Power of Broke, Damon John's Power of Broke. I was thinking of that while you just said that. And I was thinking Ryan Holiday's The Obstacle's the Way, just kind of like talking about that whole same message. I mean, do you think that, I wonder what would have you ever thought about what would have happened if you wouldn't have, been found Comcast and you wouldn't have done that drive, where you'd been now? Like, have you ever thought about that? Or
I have, but it's crazy. I think that the way I run my business and the way I run my life actually is by being guided, and I feel like I'm guided by God. But some people say I'm guided by my gut. I let my gut do this and that. Or some people have a business coach. And I think there's a strategy or distinctive way to do that. But the reason I bring this up is because when I had my concert promotion company, I try to get sponsors all the time, right? You go to a concert, they have these big sponsors and they pay for the venue and all this stuff. So I try to get sponsors. I had a little success getting sponsors. I think we got Fairfield and Marriott as a sponsor for about 6 months. But at the top of my flyers and posters, I would always put, hey, there's this company called MyTech that's bringing this concert to town. Now, I had not started MyTech. I just thought it was a cool name. I said one day I'm going to, start a cool technology company. I mean, this was years before I started MyTech Partners as it is today. So I think the seed was planted somehow, right? And I was just guided. And I actually forgot about it until one of the persons who used to come to a lot of my shows, they found out I had started MyTech as it is today. And they said, oh, yeah, I remember that from back when you used to do the shows. They were always on the poster. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So, it's but anyway, my point is, listen, I'm guided. And I just feel like, had I not gone to Comcast, I still would have been an entrepreneur doing something. Maybe the concert company would have blown up. Maybe I would have got a job somewhere else and started another company, but I definitely would have been an entrepreneur.
So what led you to start MyTech? Because you went from concert to Comcast to MyTech, which in 4.5 years, you were like killing the game, 300 sales associates, you're leading, largest minority owned business in Nashville. I mean, that's huge. What was like, I'm going to start MyTech for real now. And this is what it's going to be. What was that trigger?
Well, the trigger was, working at Comcast and starting MyTech are very related in the same industry. So I recognized the opportunity to start MyTech when I worked at Comcast. So as a B2B sales guy at Comcast, I'm knocking on doors every day, business doors. I'm setting appointments. I'm selling Comcast internet, right, to hotels and restaurants and law firms and doctors' offices. And the way we got paid there was we got a one-time commission. And although I was making more money than I never made in my life up to that point, I realized that I learned that I could actually not just get a one-time commission, I could get a residual commission on these customers if I was an independent agent for Comcast. But not only an independent agent for Comcast, for multiple carriers. They would actually pay me a percentage of the bill every month. And I said, wow, what do I need to do? So I started to research that and understand, hey, you know, what volume I had to bring to each carrier and things like that. And I said, well, hey, if I'm making 12, 13 grand a month at Comcast, but I can go over here and build a business that I own and make 12, 13 grand a week or more, like that's the opportunity I need. And I can, you know, create jobs. I can impact my community more and things like that. I said, you know what? That's what I need to be doing. And it got to the point where I would sell a deal at Comcast and I would feel like I lost money because I felt like, man, I should be getting residual on this deal. So what I started doing initially was at Comcast, we only could sell in 4 zip codes. Okay. I had my territory. So I could only sell in 4 zip codes. And so if I got a referral outside of those 4 zip codes, or maybe a customer had another location in another state or something like that, guess what? I had to give that deal away. All right. So what I started doing is when I came across those deals outside of my territory, I would run them through my, I run them through MyTech. So I started MyTech when I worked at Comcast. And guess what? They found out. They found out. And my boss called me in his office. The sales director was there. And he said, it's come to our attention that you have started this side hustle. And it's got to stop. You know, we're going to suspend you with pay and until further investigation. And that was on a Friday. And that next Monday, I came back with 3 resignation letters. One from my boss, my director, and HR. I was like, you know what? I want to start my own company. I'm out. You don't have to do an investigation. Save your time. And I never look back.
There you go.
I'm taking notes so when I could come in, and Marty, if I come in with 3 resignations, you know what's going on. I started my side hustle.
Going full time.
Damn.
Yeah.
There he goes. He's gonna be a Chick-fil-A. Can I take your order?
Hey, he practicing now.
He's practicing. You don't need a resignation.
My pleasure. That's what he gonna say. My pleasure.
I worked at CC's Pizza for 1 day.
They gave him a headset.
No, and you had to say bye, thank you when you left, and I couldn't do that. I was like, I can't say bye, thank you, and be cheerful all day. So I didn't work out well for me.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I love that you saw an opportunity, and you're like, wait a minute. It's Kevin O'Leary. We were with Kevin O'Leary. We did a pitch contest with him just was it 2 months ago? 2 months ago already? Jeez. And one of the things he says is a salary is what they give you, is the drug they give you to give up on your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And and you're exactly right. Me, you, and James, and I know Donnell, if you're still out there, DJ, it's the same thing. That's why we're like, man, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go start my own business.
Yeah. But it takes guts. I had been talking about starting that business with one of my colleagues at Comcast. And actually, we started at Comcast on the same day. And so I would walk around to the veterans at Comcast. These guys are doing pretty well. And I would say, hey, why haven't you started your own company? Because I'm thinking you've been here for years. You got the relationships. You got the referral partners. You could go out and, be okay. And they would say things like, I make a good living here, man. Or I got benefits. Or, I don't have a college degree and I make 6 figures. And I'm thinking, man, you can make 6 figures a month, right? In 5 years or so, like if you really work this thing right. So it's really the point of, they got the drug, man. They got that base salary, the benefits, and I'm like,
they'll move their cheese.
Yeah.
They got that drug. So as you're talking, because you do a lot of public speaking, I mean, you're very good at this. And so how do you talk to these aspiring entrepreneurs and these people that are trying to make their side hustle their main hustle? What's the number one thing you tell them on how to show up on purpose with purpose when you are your own boss?
Yeah, it's really a mindset shift. I think the first step is to change your identity. I mean, that's the message that I really preach. Like you gotta change your self-image, how you view yourself, because a lot of times we experience in life and we get what we believe we deserve, and whether that's, a salary, a job, whether it's, hey, starting your own company and growing into a 7-figure plus business, or whatever. You get what you deserve. And so we have to change our belief system. I call it your BS. You got to change that belief system and how you view yourself. And because you're going to get what you expect. You know, I was talking to somebody this morning about that, you know, about how when I go to a networking event or a meeting or a conference, I believe and expect to meet people that I can add value to and that are going to be able to add value to me. And that's just a belief system that I have. And guess what? It happens every time. And so we get what we look for. And so we have to change, you know, just our expectation and who we are. And that's why that book, it has 12 principles in it, man. It's really about changing who you are. You cannot, you know, achieve or go next level being the same person that you are. So I commit to a principle called constant and never ending improvement, you know, CANI. And with that, every day I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to get better and excel just 1%.
Oh, absolutely. And
Now,
I think
have you trademarked that BS slogan by the way?
I haven't trademarked it, man. And,
can we borrow that then?
Hey, it's yours. I think I put it in the book actually, but I was at a conference in DC this past weekend, and the speaker was on stage. He said the exact same thing. He said it's BS, your belief systems. I was like, wow, okay.
I like that. That's a great message. But I mean, it's so little acronyms like that mean so much. I mean, I'll remember that now. I'm guaranteeing the MOAC is taking notes, and I will hear that by Friday this week. He will use that because he's a sponge when it comes to information. So, and the other thing I noticed, I saw Donnell had put a comment in there, and he said if it was easy, everyone would do it. How come he's at the Bahamas or something though when he's making that post though? That's the only thing I know, right? I'm like, really?
He's like, if it was easy, everybody would look like they're 12, retired sergeant major.
It must be easy.
It's got, you know, you got James over there, side hustle. He's in between shifts over at Chick-fil-A, entrepreneur, doing his podcast. You got Donnell, look at him at the Bahamas. You know, but then you got Nick keeping it real over here, talking about why he wouldn't do it. It's about security and fear, which reminds me of we were just talking about that scene from The Office. You got to face my cousin Mo, face fear. And so cousin Mo comes out in the beat field, you know. But I think you're right, Nick. I mean, that's a big thing because you get a job and you think you have security, but what you find is that it's not real. The security is not real because you can lose a job in an instant. You lose a contract, you lose a bid. Next thing you know, you're on the street.
Yeah.
It's not that much different than entrepreneurship. I mean, you just look at all the layoffs we just had over the last 2 years and everything, you know. So the biggest security you can have is, you know, your bank account, what you can do to save, you know.
And being in control. You know, one thing I did when I worked at Comcast, I was, you know, having a sales job. You always have this fear that comes up, right? Or I did at least. And that fear was, hey, what if I don't hit my number, right? What if I don't make money? And so when they gave me that playbook and the numbers, it was really cool and valuable because I said, okay, I need to make 35 contacts a day, set 3 appointments a day. I was like, great. So that's something I can control. I can control how many contacts I make, right? So I just doubled the number. I just made 70 contacts. It was simple, right? Instead of making everybody else is like, oh, I'm going to make 35 and they just do 80% of that, right? But I'm making 70 plus. Well, of course, I'm going to have more. It became a numbers game. And I think that's what entrepreneurship is about too, developing that same mindset to eliminate the risk of possible failure. There you go, the 10X rule, right? So Grant Cardone was like, just go crazy, you know? And that's what I talk about in my book, Get Off Your Assets too. Like I went absolutely crazy, like making 100 phone calls a day for weeks at a time and just not working 8 to faint because I didn't have a lot of resources or a lot of contacts, but I did have that work ethic. And I said, I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm going to be super disciplined and I'm going to go for it and make it happen.
No, and you're right. Cause I mean, what you're talking about is exactly what Grant talks about in the 10X is, okay, if you set 10X and you come up short, you're still 5X. That's more than you would have like the other chumps.
Exactly.
right? You're still better off, so you got to look at that. So Nick, Loquacious here. We only have so much room on here, Nick. You need to tone it down, Nick. But so media parents and social commentary have programmed the public. If you work hard every day, you can get ahead. That's true. That's what they tell us. If you work hard, get a job, put your nose to the grind. But I wonder if that is kind of if that's the boomer mentality, if you will. What's the millennial, or what is it, Gen Z or whatever we're on now?
Yeah,
probably a symbol that I can't pronounce. But what's their mentality? Is it still the same? Nick, do you know, Chewbacca? And so, but you're right, because that's what we were always told. That's why we always say you gotta hustle and grind. And I always say you need to stop the grind, because if the only thing that gets ground down is you, because in life, earth is harder than you. Life is hard. You gotta rise up and hustle.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's what they've told us, is if you work hard and you get ahead, and then you find out sometimes it was all a lie.
Well, the other thing too is we have to keep our eyes open, and I just call it awareness, because every day everybody experiences opportunities that come our way. I truly believe entrepreneurs, or just anybody, we miss more opportunities than we notice or take advantage of. And I realized this early on in my business when I developed like that expectation mindset. Hey, I'm expecting to meet a new potential customer or referral partner, or opportunity is coming my way. And I would notice it. And then I would realize, man, this stuff always happens to me, but I've just been missing it. So I try to help entrepreneurs understand that, you got to hustle, you got to work hard, but you got to keep your eyes open too, because as you work, I really believe that as we put forth the commitment and the work, there's a certain frequency we get on. There's a certain energy that we put out there, and opportunities start to come our way. But we have to be in expectation mode. We have to have the belief system in order to recognize them. And so that's been really key for me. And now when I just laugh at it now. I wake up in the morning, like Monday, I had 3 emails in my inbox. Hey, Bill, can I get a quote for this? Hey, I got a customer. I got just 3 referrals. Yesterday, people calling me. Hey, I got a customer for you. I got somebody who needs your help. And and it seems like, hey, I'm a customer magnet. It seems like that because I am. Okay. But guess what? I put in the work every day. I've set up the system or the business to be that magnet. And I have the belief system and expectation.
Is that kind of asset number 8, being proactive? As you're talking about, success is the 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration, looking for opportunities where others think none exist, essentially.
Exactly.
I added my own to that. But
and again, just expecting good things to happen. I think that everything always works out in my favor, even if it doesn't seem like it at first. So I'm always looking, there's a popular book we've all heard of called Think and Grow Rich, right? So Napoleon Hill wrote this book, and I think that the underlining theme of that book is, with every piece of adversity that we experience in life, there's always an equivalent benefit, right? So if we have a setback, if we have a failure, there's an equivalent benefit to that setback. But we got to look for it, So if I lose a customer, if I lose a contract, hey, there's a benefit here. There's something equally beneficial that I need to expect or look for. And so being proactive really just means setting up the systems, setting up, building a team around that, creating the right culture, and really expecting to grow, right? Expecting the business and folks around you to grow.
Yeah, Bill, you said it earlier. You said that blessings seem to find you. There's another book. I won't go into the Old Testament, Marty, but this book tells you too, right? This is what this is about. You're asking for blessings, and that's how they find you as well, and having these opportunities. But it's just in line. I love your message, Bill. It's in line with everything that you're doing, and just making just a positive difference, because it's those blessings that you're asking for, because you asked for his blessings, and you receive them. So it's amazing. Yeah, you're just a testimony, another testimonial for how great it is.
Since you held up the good book, man, I gotta tell you, there's a verse in there that I live. It's one of my favorite verses, and it says, "Count it all joy when you face trials of many kinds, knowing that the testing of your faith produces perseverance," right? And then it says, "Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be complete and mature, not lacking anything." And that's like so key, because a lot of times when we go through adversity, sometimes it just beats us down. But what it's doing is it's molding us, right, to become the right person so that we can be ready for the blessing that we ask for. So, if we want something, we set our goals, we do the vision board, we get people in an accountability group, and we're telling people what we want to achieve. Well, guess what? You're about to go through something. Why? Yeah. So that you can become the person that will receive the blessing that you want, so that's key.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I love it. James gives me trouble because we had an opportunity. We were on stage, and James quoted the entire book of Genesis.
It was just Aaron and Moses. I was just making a reference to Aaron and how nobody talks about Aaron as much as Moses. But anyway, it was real quick. It might have took up half or more than a quarter of the opportunity.
5 minutes of a 10-minute opportunity to speak to everybody.
But it was a blessing. I felt the need.
It was good. He was being spoken through. But that's our joke to one another. So he's like, I'm gonna pull out the Bible. I know it's gonna upset Marty. Now everybody who's new to the show thinks I'm not religious.
Like, no, that's not what I was saying. I was just saying I wouldn't quote the whole Old Testament. So
not this
but no, I love it. This has been a great conversation so far. Donnell putting up here, if you improve 1% per day, you'll find yourself in the Bahamas just like he is in that picture.
I know. No, exclusive. That's an exclusive Bahamas trip there. You could tell.
Hey, that's a good point though. I like it.
It is. And then Nick wants to know what you're listening to on them headphones. Angel Radio.
Angel.
Man. I'm taking French fry orders.
Justin Bieber. That's what he listens to.
Justin Bieber. So here's what I want to do. Let's cut to commercial. Let's get back and let's dive into your book a little bit. So cool. Are you okay with that?
Cool. I'm good with it.
All right, let's do that. So let's cut to commercial. Let's talk. Let's throw some love out to Veterans Growing America, my fellow Bunker Labs veteran in residence, 22 Alpha DC.
You're watching the Lounge with Legends TV show with your hosts, Marty Martinez and James A. Feltz.
Bam, there's James. We're going to leave it up there so everybody can see his Chick-fil-A order.
Polynesian sauce on that.
Polynesian sauce. So shout out to Donnell. He's got a Veterans Growing America. If you are a veteran entrepreneur or a family member, check out Veterans Growing America. They've got an amazing database and storefront. They put you actually in front of customers to sell your goods and services. And then we also showed Third Day Coffee Seguin, who provides our coffee, the MOAC, mother of all coffees, Texas Pecan Roast. So check them out. So we got Bill here. He's the author of this book. Amazing. I love it. We've been talking about it. We're skirting around it. Get Off Your Assets Before You Leave Your Day Job. This is the book that James wished he would have read before he left his day job.
I'm going to get an autograph version signed in person.
From me or Bill?
Not from you.
So we're getting into this. So James always talks about be, know, do leadership. But you've got asset number 4, be, do, have.
Oh
And
yeah.
I like that. That's a little bit different. And you talking here about vision boards and stuff like that. Let's dive into that. Be do have.
Yeah. So, again, when we set goals, there's several processes we can go through when we set a goal. Some people say it's good to write the goal down. It's good to cut out a picture and put it on a vision board and look at it every day and read affirmations or whatever. But I think the most important thing to do is to become the person who would have already achieved that goal, and that's what be, do, have is about. So we start with be, then do, and then have. Now, most people just want to have. They want to have the lifestyle. They want to have the money. They want to have the nice car, whatever, the relationship, whatever it is, the successful business. But they won't have it, most people, because they will not do the work consistently. All right. But I believe that most people won't do the work consistently because they have not become the right person. So I think what's really key is for us to focus more on becoming the right person. And in that way, doing the work will fall into place over time, will fall into play over time, and we can be more consistent at it. A lot of times, when I do a sales boot camp seminar or something like that, I'll call somebody up in front of the room and I'll say, hey, listen, what's your top 3 goals for the year as it relates to business or as it relates to your career? And they may say something like, I want to make a certain amount of money. I want to have this many customers. I want to grow my team. And I say, okay, imagine that you've already achieved that. Imagine that you hit this number. How does that make you feel? Well, I'll feel successful. I'll feel confident. I'll feel this and that. So they start naming all of these adjectives. And I say, listen, what you need to focus on is how you're going to feel now. Feel successful now. How would you walk, talk, and act now if you had achieved that goal? How would the confidence exude out of you if you'd already hit that number? And if you focus on becoming that person, guess what? You're going to do the work and you're eventually going to have the goals that you set. So my contention is when we set goals and we write that goal down, the goal has already been achieved. If I say I want to build $1 million company, boom, the goal is done. All we have to do is reverse engineer it. Okay. Who do I need to be? How would I walk, talk? Who would I connect with? How would I approach this person if I had already achieved that goal? And I believe that goal, we will attract whatever we set out for.
I love it. So, and the reason it seems random why I just picked that one, but when we have a lot of these calls and we talk to people, James heard me say this 1,000 times, but when we're talking to these aspiring entrepreneurs or people that are just starting out, I say, you are already a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You're already a millionaire. You just got to figure out who's got your paper.
Yep.
Go get your paper.
That's
Go
right.
get your money. That's what you got to figure out. And then that's that, as you were talking about before the break, what we talk about in the military is getting that positive mental attitude and the positive growth mindset for your mental resiliency. And this is all building together because especially as an entrepreneur, you were going to get knocked down. And I think one of the things that you need to prepare yourself for is that, and you need to just hear it from somebody, is that successful entrepreneurs and successful business people will fail more often than unsuccessful people.
Yep.
And that's just because we're going to get knocked down more times, but we're going to get up more times too.
Yep.
And that's
key.
So let me ask you this with be, do, have. Is that for your normal goals, or is that also for BHAGs or moonshots, or how do you differentiate?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's for everything.
Yeah.
I think it's for everything. I think it matters more for the BHAGs, because I think we get more excited about those things. Those things may drive us and motivate us more. But I think we can apply it to every single thing, we all, I've got some family goals, and then I've got, some health goals. In fact, I'm a runner, right? I run marathons. So, my goal last year was to run an ultra marathon. So I knocked that out. But, when I first started running, which was just last February, I used to run and it was painful, man. I mean, I couldn't breathe. My form was terrible. But, I had this affirmation I would say to myself, I am a marathon runner, And when I was saying it, I was like, dude, this is crazy. I don't even have to do this, right? But now I can say that with confidence. I became that marathon runner. What would a marathon runner do? What would he eat? And so, yeah, I just think it applies no matter what. And here's another key point, though. Successful people and unsuccessful people, especially entrepreneurs, they have something in common. And what they have in common is, we wake up, as people, as human beings, we don't feel like it sometimes. We don't feel like doing what we know we absolutely need to do. That feeling comes over us. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. But successful people, they do it anyway. Mm-hmm. So I think that, what's key is for us as entrepreneurs to develop the tools. And this is why I'm so big on mindset. We have to develop the tools or the triggers to know, okay, this is my mind speaking. This is my mind talking. And what would I do if I were already successful? If I already achieved that goal, Right. And so that's really the key. We think we're special sometimes. Oh man, I just didn't feel like it. Oh, it's raining. Oh, I had a setback. Now I can't, but what would this successful person do in that same circumstance? So really important.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We talk about this, in life, when you're going to be met at the crossroads between the winner in you and the quitter in you.
Yep.
Choose the winner.
Yep.
And that's
He's not lying. He's not lying, Bill. He's volunteered me to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So I'm now a climber. Wow. I've had to go to the fitness center. So now I work out. So he's volunteering me for all these things. I'm kind of nervous that he's going to now make me run, and so I can join you. So now I'm kind of nervous, to be honest.
You got it.
Army 10 mile coming up. Registration.
Let's do it. Just get Bill to run it with us.
Let's go.
There we go. It's all in
right,
DC.
Oh man, I just signed up for the Army 10 miler. Oh my gosh, I'm a runner now.
Yeah, I mean, what we were talking. I mean, what you're saying too is it resonates because I'm training for I don't do them anymore, but Ironman triathlons. A lot of times, that's a 140.6 mile race.
Yeah,
and usually the hardest part of it were those steps between my bed and the front door during the 9 months of train up. Yeah. Especially when you're doing it in the winter and it's 12 degrees outside. And I'm like, it's 5 a.m. I do not want to go to the damn pool right now.
Yeah.
But like you're doing with your marathon training and doing this by putting yourself in those dark places, that builds your resiliency.
Right.
That builds your mind so that when you do hit that in work, I think it just puts you in a better place. That's that rest principle that we always talk about, James. You got to read, exercise, sleep, and think. When you rest like that, that's what makes you better. And that's what gives you that positive growth mindset you're talking about, Bill.
I love it. Rest. Hey, listen, I have this statement that says questions are the answers, right? I think I got this from Tony Robbins, but meaning the questions that we intentionally ask ourselves, it helps us direct our focus. So we could say, hey, it's 12 degrees. Do I really have to train this early or this morning? What's your brain going to say? No, you can wait, right? But if you ask yourself a better quality question, like, hey, what if I miss this training? How's this going to impact me, right? Or how can I make myself proud of myself this morning, right? Just if we just train ourselves to ask ourselves better questions, it's going to put our thought process, our self-talk, and eventually our mindset on the right path to the success that we want.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I had to reframe my thinking in the morning because I did not want to go to the pool. I hate swimming and I hate getting up early in the cold and swimming in a cold pool. So I had to tell myself, I will do today what others won't. So I can do tomorrow what others can't.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. I mean, and that's part of that is it's really reframing the way you think. And that's especially when you're training for the long races like you. We had another guest, Nick Bear. He was on last August already, James?
It's been almost a year.
Yeah, he's the CEO of Bear Performance Nutrition.
Okay,
and, and so he was on our show, and he hated running in the Army, and he started running, and now the dude just ran Leadville 100. Wow. And he's running all over the place, and he loves running. And you see his things where he's finishing his run. He's finishing a 20-mile run at what, 5, 6 a.m. He's like, I'm finishing while Austin's waking up.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Nick,
I
come
think
on.
I think I follow that guy on YouTube. He's got like some YouTube documentaries or something.
Oh yeah, he's
like
got all
that.
sorts of stuff.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. You're talking the same things. Like I didn't like running. Now it's a high. You know, I was following you this weekend. I was seeing all your pictures around DC and White House and everything like that. You know, as I was eating bonbons on the couch, I'm like, I gotta do. He killing it out there. Killing it.
I was trying to inspire you, man. Apparently, it didn't work.
It works because I get to hear about it all the time. He tells me, "Did you see what Bill did?" I said, "No, but I will."
Yeah.
He's white. No, seriously, you're killing it and crushing it. How does people get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you for speaking or any kind of events like that? How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, definitely. Just my website is BillMcCleskey.com. McCleskey is McCleskey right there on the screen, BillMcCleskey.com. So you can go there and check out. You can grab my book there, get off your assets. You can inquire about speaking engagements and some other things I'm involved in for sure.
Awesome.
I
appreciate that. Bill, I think it is that time. Bear with me as I set everything up. So as always, we ask each and every one of our legends what freedom means. And this Freedom Means moment is brought to you by our sponsor, A-Rod over at Salute to Suits, helping veterans transition from battlefield to business. You can get 1 suit, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and 2 pocket squares for $275. They will do a wardrobe assessment, and he'll make sure that it's fitted for you, and you will look like $1,000,000, as A-Rod says. Got ours coming up, ready for PodFest. James and I are going to be looking sharp and ready for May in Orlando. So we're not sweating our faces off. We're going to be looking tropical. So as we say that, Bill, you've done a lot in your time. And we want to ask you, especially in this crazy day with everything going on in Ukraine and stuff like that, and you just coming back from the Capitol, what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom means being able to have unchallenging control, number one, over our mind and our thoughts, and ultimately our actions, which leads to the destiny that we should truly live. So what freedom means, that's what it is. Let's go after it every day.
Bam. I love it. Short, sweet, to the point, but on point. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, brother, this has been a pleasure, man. We could go on for another hour, I swear. We're definitely going to get together when you are in town again, and when we are in Nashville. And again, thanks to Bunker Labs and Shelby and Blake and the entire crew out there for bringing on amazing people like Bill and introducing them to our network and our community. And I appreciate it. So, Bill, we're gonna put you in the green room, but don't hang out just yet. We're gonna link up with you right after this. So thank you, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
What do you think, brother? Are you still taking orders?
Man,
I'm sorry. Are you taking orders right now?
No, I'm taking notes. I've got a box full of note cards here, and I take notes.
You share those on orders? That's a jalapeno cheese.
No, I put them on yellow when it's golden nuggets of knowledge. I put them on yellow cards so I can reference them, and I definitely would be referencing a lot that he put out there with the, I'm gonna have to use that BS today. I loved it. I mean, it's just amazing. And just, I mean, I just like people that are genuine, that share their story, and it's not always peaches and creams, it's not always great. And, I love how he's transparent and letting everyone know it was a little struggle at first, but now look where he is, and it's well worth the ride. But anyway, who we got next week, brother? Who we have?
Chris Cano.
Oh, man, haven't you already been on his show?
Dude, it's going to be crazy. You're going to have 2 Latinos in this place.
Chris wouldn't let me on the show. I couldn't. That was that ride that I was trying to fly down to Austin, and for the first time ever, the Raleigh airport was closed down that morning. I couldn't catch a flight out.
Divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, everybody, as a reminder, shameless plug, go to go.jtf214.com. Next week, Cinco de Mayo, we're giving a free training for marketing. 5 things your website should include to increase your sales. Remember, your website has one job, and that's to make you money. How is yours performing? So we'll see you next week. And again, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the love. And don't forget to go and hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Help us get to 5,000 subscribers before the Army birthday. That's a huge goal. So, James, any last remarks?
No, I was just going to ask you, what would you like from Chick-fil-A or Burger King or whatever? I was going to take your order before we left.
I usually get that spicy chicken sandwich.
Everything's spicy. So, but no, hey, appreciate it. Great episode. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for keeping this thing going and moving down the road, even though I have my headsets on.
All right, brother. Thanks. And good luck with your roofers. That was roofers, not roofies.
You've been watching the Lounge with Legends show, countering the narrative that veterans are all broken misfit toys. Veterans are the lifeblood of American freedom. Serving in harsh situations, coupled with their training, have forged them into some of the most resilient and capable leaders in the world. And that's where we come in, celebrating the success stories, taking you on a journey of transformation from military to business. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back soon. But find us on Facebook at Lounge with Legend or at JTF214. Till next time.